There are numerous reasons why I distrust the medical establishment. But it strikes me that right now, what we've got going on um, is something, well, maybe not totally unique, but at least for me, the egregiousness of the situation calls attention to itself in a way that transcends the typical kinds of critiques that I have of the medical establishment. What am I talking about? Well, in the cases of people getting the Baj, B-A-J, think of that spelled backwards. That's what I'm referring to. I have to be circumspect with my language because of the platform that I'm on here. I choose to be on this platform because I like to be able to reach people, and this is the best place to do it. But unfortunately, this is not a platform that values free speech, and so you have to speak in code sometimes, and that's what I do when I talk about this subject. So, um, there are some cases, it would seem, um, where people uh, decided to be good citizens and get the Baj that they were told to get, and there were side effects. And those side effects, in some cases, proved to be deeply debilitating. In some cases, proved to be fatal. That's what it would seem. That's what would seem to be the case. Um, Now that uh, there, I have to say most of the people that I know have gotten the Baj, and nothing has happened to any of them. So thank God. And I hope nothing continues to happen to them. Nothing bad. But we can't. Even if a wide majority of people get it and nothing happens and they're fine, these cases where there are side effects are should by no means be ignored. And yet, there is a serious instance of malpractice on a wide and vast scale. There's a conspiracy to commit malpractice, it would seem to me, because I don't think any one of these cases um, where there were bad side effects, including fatal side effects from the Baj, I don't believe any one of those cases has been assessed by any coroner or any authority, and they've reached a conclusion that the Baj is to blame for what took place with this person causing such negative side effects, including and up to death. Now, just think about that for a second. I mean, there's something really wrong there. If the buttresses of the medical establishment, those who take the Hippocratic oath to first do no harm, and if harm is done, it's their responsibility to see to it that these cases get addressed, and that the grievances of the grieving families get redress. And yet, it would seem that there is a widespread conspiracy. Conspiracy just meaning that it's just an agreed upon thing amongst this entire establishment that's not going to happen. I have heard of no cases in which some authority somewhere has said X died because of the Baj. I have not heard that anywhere, and I don't believe we're going to hear that. And this is worse than the fact that it gets covered up and swept under the carpet and censored by the mainstream media and by the big tech social media. That already is happening, and that's bad enough. But for actual medical authorities, those who uh, ought to address these things, for them to just avoid their responsibility. They've got blood on their hands, and they're excusing. They're trying to wipe the blood off of the hands of. It's like the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing in that biblical metaphor. In this case, the one hand is bloody, and the other one is trying to wipe the blood off of the hand of the first hand. The first hand is the one that, by administering the baj to someone, did some terrible things to him or her, in some cases ending his or her life. And then the other, the medical establishment, the people that, who treat these victims of baj injury, baj side effects. They end up just giving the other side a clean bill of health. Just saying nothing wrong was done here. No harm, no harm, no foul. Essentially, nothing was committed of a malpractice that could be considered malpractice or even criminal. And it just seems to me this is a pretty dire set of circumstances we've got going on right now. And I think this is further reason not to trust the medical establishment. The fact that they can let something like this, something as huge as this, they can let it just slide because where they know where their bread is buttered because of politics. How many people have to die because of politics, right? I know that's what all the virus alarmists were saying early on. How many have to die because of politics? Because of well, in this case, it's there's a 1-to-1, unlike in the cases that they were describing, where somehow people getting ill and dying was the fault of the political system, or the fault of onerous, unconstitutional restrictions not being put on the citizenry. Here, it's we see a 1-to-1 ratio. It's a direct correlation, right? It's not some complicated thing involving, we need to do this, we need to do that, to just because we need to protect people, and all of that nonsense, all of that all of that dishonest rhetoric. Here, it's a simple case of, you got this thing put into your body. You were coerced to get this thing put into your body, and it harmed you terribly, and it killed you in many, many cases. And nobody nowhere is going to do anything about it. It's just you're just collateral damage, and no one's even going to acknowledge it. Nobody of authority, nobody of nobody with some degree next to his or her name is going to acknowledge it. This is untenable. This cannot stand. That's all.